Hi, welcome to the webinar. Today we're going to be covering the status editor and the task templates in Mercury. We'll begin in the task templates. So what we can do in Mercury is we can set up a task template. This will allow us to apply multiple tasks to an opportunity with one or two clicks of the mouse. So rather than having to go in and put in individual tasks, we can put together a whole range of them, stick them into a task template, and then easily apply them to an opportunity. To create a task template is pretty straightforward. You click the green plus sign up in the top left corner. Name the template. Now I'm going to call this new lead template. So this is a template that we apply to an opportunity that has just come into our business, so it's a new lead. We can select which opportunity type it applies to, so it can be all opportunities or it can be one specific opportunity type. We can place in any comments, so apply this to a new lead. Now we need to create the actual tasks for this template. To do so, click on the green plus sign. You can see here, new task. Now, when you're creating tasks, what we strongly recommend you do is actually begin by numbering them. How we recommend? In this case, I'm going to name this 101 dash and then the name of the actual task. The reason for that, there is method to our madness. The reason we recommend that is because when you apply a task template to an opportunity, it will sort the tasks alphabetically. That means if it starts just with a letter, not a number, it will mix up the actual tasks and not give you a nice flow and a nice just straight down the page. And you'll see that later on when I actually give a demonstration of a task template. By starting 101, it means this task is always going to be at the very top of the list. As we go along, we add more tasks. What I'll do is I'll name it 102 and 103. Now I've started this one with a 1. What I would then want to do is if I went and created another task template, now this particular one we're working on now is generally going to be the first task template we ever apply to an opportunity. I'm going to go and work on another one later, and it's going to be generally the second task template I would ever apply to an opportunity. So what I'm going to do is as I put those tasks in, I'm going to number them 201 and 202 and 203. And that will maintain a nice order, starting at the first task, 101, and going the whole way down my list until the very last task. So what we want to do is we want to put in our 3 tasks. So the first task is going to be broker to contact clients. The delegate, so that is the person responsible for carrying out this particular task. In this case, I'm going to make the loan writer. The owner, so that can be the person overall responsible or maybe even just overseeing the tasks and whether or not they're being done. In this case, I'm going to set it to the admin. So the admin person can also keep an eye on this task and make sure the loan writer gets a chance to do it. Date offset, so what I can do is I can set a date offset either plus or minus a certain number of days. In this particular case, I'm going to leave it as 0. What that means is I want this client to be contacted basically within the 24 hours after they first submit their inquiry. And an offset dependency, you can see there are a number of dependencies we can use. I'm going to use current date. So by setting date offset 0 current date, this task is going to appear in the loan writer's task list on the day it's created. What I can also do is make a note. Broker must make contact with client within 24 hours of new lead. So a bit of a note on the task. Second thing I want to happen is the admin to contact clients. So what this is the admin will then, so the broker will make an initial contact, maybe get a few more details. The admin will then contact the clients to set up a meeting with them for the broker. So the delegate is the admin. I'm going to switch it around. The owner is the loan writer. And I want this to happen the day after they actually come in as a new lead. So I've set date offset to 1, so it will set this task's due date for 1 day after the current date. Third task, admin to create appointment broker calendar. So once the admin contacts the client, they need to make sure they put the appointment into the calendar for the broker. So again, this is going to be admin loan writer, same day, current date. So there's our new lead task template. We have 3 tasks: broker to contact clients, admin to contact clients, admin to create appointment. Save and exit. And as you can see, we now have our new lead template. So we can create a whole range of these just by clicking the green plus sign and going through that process. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to jump into the status editor. Now the status editor is a very, very powerful tool. Some brokers haven't discovered it yet and haven't really come to understand just the power behind this particular feature. So in the status editor, the first thing we can do here is we can actually enable or disable particular opportunity types. What that does is it just cleans up our CRM. So if you're not going to be doing financial planning, insurance, accounting, you can just uncheck all of these checkboxes. What that will do is basically stop all of the data associated with those opportunity types appearing anywhere in Mercury. So as I said, it just helps to tidy up your Mercury. What we can also do is set an individual status list for each opportunity type. So I've clicked on home loans and you can see all of the statuses for home loans down here. If I click on commercial loans, you can see that's changed. Plant and equipment, there are no statuses, personal loans, and so on. So we can have a list for each type of opportunity. So that means every opportunity has its own very particular workflow. I'm going to stick on home loans for today's demonstration. So over here in the middle column, we actually have all of our statuses for a home loan opportunity. We can add, remove, move all of these quite simply. You can see the green plus sign here. When I click on that, it pops up a name. I'm just going to use AIP for an example. Click OK and you can see AIP moves down here. I now want to move that to its correct place in the flow. Click and drag, hold it where the black line appears, let go, and you can see it's now appeared just under approved in principle. I can also add it to a status group by clicking on the actual status, and over here you'll see status group. Drop that list down and I can choose the relevant status group. I can also modify the name here, set that to in progress. You can also modify the name of any statuses over here by just clicking on this field and typing in the new name. And again, you can delete them by simply clicking on the red cross. Now please note, if you do make any changes here, do not forget to save changes. So I've just clicked that save changes and it's now stored that in our database. The third column allows us to dictate a very particular workflow. So if I click on appointed, you'll see here are a list of all the other statuses and a checkbox next to each one. By unchecking this checkbox, what it will do is it will make that particular status unavailable from appointed. So if I was to remove all of these, something like that, if I have a loan that's sitting in appointed, when I go to change the status now, the only options available to me will be lead, pending, pre-lodgement, declined, and inactive. What that does is it allows me to set a very particular workflow. Reason being, it doesn't make if you're using the statuses correctly, and everyone in your Mercury using statuses correctly, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go from appointed straight to unconditional. There are a whole range of steps you want a loan to go through before it reaches unconditional or settled or one of those latter statuses. So now we're going to look at the auto actions, and this is one of the most powerful tools in Mercury. Whenever a new lead hits my database and it gets moved to appointed, I want some things to happen every time. I'm going to click on this green plus sign and we're going to start creating these auto actions. So the 3 things I want to happen. I want an SMS to be sent to the broker. That SMS just says to the broker, FYI, these people have been appointed to you. Please make contact within 24 hours. I want an email to be sent to the clients introducing the broker. Hi, my name is such and such. I've been appointed as your broker. I will be in contact soon. And I want my new lead task template to be applied to the opportunity. So first things first, I'm going to create the SMS. Click on action type SMS from the user, so that is the person actually logged in, to the applicant's no. I want this to go to the loan writer. Hi, please note, I'm going to insert a tag, full name, have been assigned to you, contact within 24 hours. There's our SMS. Click on save. And there's our first auto action. Second auto action is that email that I mentioned. So new action type email from the loan writer to the applicants. If I had created an email template for this particular step, I could apply it using that little button there, but I haven't, so I'm just going to type it out. Hi, welcome to ABC Mortgages. Hi. Now the body of the actual email, first name. Thank you for choosing my business. Maybe I could say, my name is Aaron. I have been assigned your loan. Thank you for choosing my business. I will be in touch soon to discuss your needs, or something along the line of that. Kind regards. Of course, you don't need kind regards if it's in your email profile, just note that. Click on save. And finally, we need to apply that task template. Task template from the user to applicants, doesn't really matter, but we'll set that to loan writer. Click on the little select task template button. That's our new lead template. Hit choose, and it shows you what's actually in the template. Broker to contact clients, admin to contact clients, admin to create appointment. Click on save, and there are our 3 auto actions that I want to happen every time a loan hits appointed. I'm going to make them active. Click on those 3 little ticks. Click on save, and we now have our auto action set up and ready to be used. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to jump into the CRM, and I'm going to show you just how those auto actions actually happen. So click on the CRM. I'm just going to create a new home loan for the purposes of this demonstration. So here we have our new transaction. I'll set an admin to Bugs Bunny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this status into appointed. Click on the little green arrow. Select the new status as appointed. Click OK. And here we have our auto actions. So I'm being prompted to send that email, SMS, and apply the task template. You can switch these on and off. So on a case-by-case basis, you can switch them off if for some reason it's not appropriate to send an email or an SMS or apply a task template. And as you click through, you can actually see the information here. Now I have Aaron Cody set as the loan writer, and I have an Aaron Cooper as the client, hence why it's put in Aaron and Aaron there. And you can see it's actually populated. So hi Aaron, so it's pulled the client's name. My name is Aaron, the loan writer. I've been assigned to your loan. SMS, hi, please note Aaron Cooper have been assigned to you. So what we can do, there's no email address, but I'll quickly put mine in, is once we're ready to go, click on process selected actions, give it a second, and you can see it's giving me a little report. Following automated actions were attempted. Email sent, success. SMS sent, success. Task template applied, okay. If I have a look here now, you can see under notes, I have that SMS and that email that were just sent. And under tasks, you can see there are the tasks which I've applied to this particular opportunity. So that's my new lead template. Broker to contact clients, admin to contact clients, admin to create appointment. So they're all in there. And you can see this one's due today. Those ones are due tomorrow. So there we have it. That is how we use the status editor and create auto actions, and how we actually apply it, and how it all works with an opportunity. Thank you for watching the webinar.